Major lenders in the UK are cutting mortgage rates following the Bank of England cut down to 3.75%. January house prices hit the highest since records began. That's in the 4 weeks to the 10th of January. And more landlords than ever, 200,000 last year, are leaving the market. So what do all these three things mean for us as expat property investors and those of us looking to buy property and build portfolios over the next 12 months? First, UK mortgage rates, which are falling. So what does that mean for the cash in your pocket and potential property purchases? Off the back of the December Bank of England rate cut down to 3.75%, a whole host of lenders, including HSBC, NatWest, Skipton's, Dudley Building Society, TSB, Halifax, and more, have cut their mortgage rates. What does that mean? If you are on a variable mortgage, it'll mean the cash in your pocket each month is going up. A 0.25% drop in rates will equate to about 40 quid saving on a £200,000 mortgage. If you're on a fixed rate, then it might be time to consider switching to a lower rate or a variable rate as the trend is downward. And lastly, if you're thinking about buying property, it'll mean the cash flow positivity of any deals you are looking at is much better, which means in turn the compounding effect of that extra income will increase, allowing you to save for further and more properties to continue building that portfolio. Lastly, it means that when banks are assessing the affordability of a property, they'll normally stress test it. So if the rate is 5%, say, they'll stress test that up to 140%. So 5% plus 40% is up to 7%. So generally for property investors, it's a good thing. Better cash flow positivity, better affordability, and the ability to save and compound to buy more going forward. House prices in the UK had the biggest ever January. What does that mean? Up 2.8% from December 10th to January 10th, according to Rightmove. So that's the biggest increase since records began. Where has this come from and what does it mean? A lot of it is due to pent-up demand and positive sentiment returning post-budget. A lot of people were worried that Rachel Reeves would destroy the property market. In reality, it wasn't that bad. They added an extra 2% tax to property income on property owned in your own name. Therefore, more so than ever, it was always important to use a company, but even more so now, it is important to use a company. If you'd like more information on that, there's a link to a video below. You can watch 10 minutes on how to set one up and the benefits. So house prices up are off the back, as I say, of many more people returning to the market and positive sentiment returning. When you add into that the mortgage rates that we just discussed, you've got better affordability, more cash in people's pockets, better cash flow positivity, which is encouraging more and more people into the market. Demand is going up, supply is the same, therefore prices are increasing. Last point, landlords are a dying breed, or are they? The amount of landlords or property investors in the UK market dropped 33% last year, down to the lowest level since 2007. I think the total figure is about 200,000. So is this all doom and gloom? Is it game over for buy-to-let, or is there more to the story that we need to delve into? Firstly, understanding why that's happened is important. I think there's a whole host of factors that if you read or watch the news, you will see it's almost always negative. Stamp duty changes for buy-to-let and expat landlords. You've got EPC rating changes. You've got the loss of mortgage interest relief at source, MIRAS, where you can deduct your mortgage cost off your tax bill. In your personal name, you can still do that via a company. Higher interest rates over the years, although falling now, and most recently in the budget, 2% increase on tax if owned in your personal name. So it does feel like sometimes the list is never ending, which is why people are leaving the market. So what's the opportunity for us, and how do we position ourselves to take advantage of that and still make money in property? Basic supply and demand would indicate that as supply reduces, which it is doing with landlords leaving the market, prices go up. I think I learned that in my first ever economics lesson in GCSEs. So 200,000 people leaving means there's less supply. The result is rents go up, which they have been doing for the past 4 or 5 years. Rents are just going up and up. In addition to this, the UK government has a house building target of 300,000 new homes, and there are about 100,000 homes short each year, which again means that the supply is not there. And again, on this supply and demand chart, I would draw it for you if I had a pen. Demand goes up, supply goes down, prices go up because the curve where they intersect gets higher. In addition to that, you've still got 4.7 million households that privately rent. This number is increasing as affordability of buying a first home decreases. So for landlords that are set up properly, using a limited company to manage tax, buying high yielding properties in good quality locations, providing good, affordable housing for high quality tenants using PI, population, infrastructure, and employment, there is a massive opportunity to fill that gap, to have rents rising and ride the wave that we're seeing at the moment, property prices increasing, interest rates decreasing, and more people coming into the market, which means essentially prices are going to go up and cash flow positivity is going to get better. If you're interested in how to set up a property portfolio, Property is an Expat, drop a comment below or send me a message and I'll send you something that my clients find incredibly useful when it comes to building or starting portfolios from overseas.